which I think is an interesting argument that's sort of come out in 2022, which is that if you say anything that Putin has said, it doesn't really matter what the truth of it is. It's just bad because he said it.
Yeah, it's not relevant whether it's right or wrong. It's just relevant that you are helping the invasion of Ukraine by saying it.
The sort of things that the Stop the War Coalition are coming out with and stuff, they're complicating the Western narrative. But that doesn't just make it so that you're on side with Putin. It just gives you a better understanding of what's happening there. And that's this idea that having a better understanding, because that would mean that you're against your side, you're therefore immediately on the other side.
It might be that, or it just might be a left-wing version of QAnon.
Yeah, and well, yeah. And
that's the other option, yeah.
Well, that's the same thing with Trump. Trying to understand Trump is as bad as being a fan of his, because you should just condemn absolutely everything he's ever said and anyone that supports him in all positions that he takes on anything, right? And it's like, well, then you're not going to really understand how to counteract it or how to even work with some of the people, try and bring them into some other political movement. If you're just going to reject the entire idea, you've got to understand what's actually happening in order to find a solution to it.
Yeah, I mean, I think about that here with, you know, UKIP and all that kind of thing. I mean, you've got a lot of people likening, weirdly, Corbyn fans and Nigel Farage fans, because the only thing that really does connect them is the idea of questioning the media narrative.
Yeah, there's that, but there's also that proximity to those ideas, which we've been like talking about here, isn't it? But there is this kind of very weird liberal to far right pipeline happening through Islamophobia, partly through anti-trans views, through hatred of the left, through all the things that we're identifying, through the anti-Semitism witch hunt, that's actually making them weirdly close to those views and then projecting that, as you're saying, onto us.
I think it's something that you see in a few different sort of situations where what happens is the centrists, or the sort of mainstream position, is actually quite extreme in itself and really doesn't allow for much debate. And then what it does is then anyone that wants to debate it, you project onto them that they're the sort of in an extreme position because they want to have a more nuanced debate about, say, Brexit or Ukraine or Trump or anti-Semitism in the Labour Party. And like, if you want to debate these things and talk about the complexities of them, you're basically Putin propagandist. I don't know, you're the extremist.